Jackie Lee Price for Shadowboxruk UK. I'm here at the Fisher Allen 2 with Mr. Jamie Moore. How are you doing?
I'm okay, are you?
Yeah, I'm not bad, You look well.
Thank you, so do you.
Thank you very much. So, listen, I actually had a little watch back of the fight just to remind myself of what happened the last time. Controversial finish. A lot of people thought your man had won the fight. With hindsight, you've obviously gone back, you've had a look. What are your thoughts now? Do you still maintain that your man won?
I don't think it was an hard fight to score. I thought Dave dropped the first 4 rounds, won the next 5 with a knockdown, and then the round 10 was a toss a coin round where it could have gone either way. So even if you score that round to Johnny Fisher, then we still win it by a point. So I feel like we won it, but I'm not a big fan of calling a fight a robbery when there's a round in it, even though it's on the surface of it, it can seem like a robbery, because when Johnny won his rounds relatively comfortable but with no drama, and then Dave won his rounds with big explosive moments, and then the people's interpretation of it is like, wow, he's won this massive. And when you're scoring it round by round, that's not how boxing works, unfortunately. So you know, even though I did think we won, and fairly, you know, if you can find one more round for Johnny in any of those next 5 rounds where I said Dave won 5 on the trot, then it becomes a scenario where you're going, you know, is it a draw? So you can't call it a robbery, but I definitely thought we won it.
Yeah. I've just had a chat to him, and I'm going to be honest, having looked back at that fight, do you know what? Honestly, Jamie, I said it to him, to be fair. I said, you know what? I've watched some of your fights in the past, and I feel a little bit like sometimes you hadn't always turned up. All the pieces seem to just fit together on that fight. And I asked him if he had any regret. You know, looking back at his career, has he had any regret? Because did he know that he had that in him, or was that you that dragged it out of him?
Well, do you know what? He's definitely always had it in him. If we've dragged it out of him, then I'm glad, because all it takes is, you know, I'm assuming I had it in me as a fighter when I was boxing, and it took Oliver Harrison to drag it out of me. So sometimes at certain points in your life, a little bit of fate, a little bit of luck, people cross paths, and luckily I found Oliver Harrison. Dave Allen, I've known Dave for a long time, and then 5 years ago he asked me to work with him, and we didn't work consistently over those years, on and off, but maybe at the right time, in the right place, in the right moments, our paths have crossed again. He asked me to work with him again for the first Fisher fight. I've always had a soft spot for him, and I said yeah, and it was like, during that camp, with people around him in my gym, it seemed like the penny dropped with him. Certainly in that 5th round, when he had that moment and he put him down, he came back to the corner like, you know, I get it now. And it was like he had belief in himself for the first time I've ever seen, and he's never gone away from him. So he's carried that through after the fight into this training camp. He never stayed out of the gym, which is not a Dave Allen trait. He carried on training in between, hoping that something would come up, not necessarily the rematch. And then this came around. It's
mad, isn't it, that he's only just realised, and it was a moment in the ring that kind of took him to a place where, oh my gosh, do you know what I mean? I can do this. Because I tell you what, Jamie, I was talking to him, like I say, earlier on, and he said I wasn't one of these people that was great and this and that, and so I'm not sure he knew his potential. And again, it is also about timing. And
I don't believe him, because ask anybody who knew Dave Allen when he first turned pro, and he was sparring David A. And, you know, a lot of people were saying to Dave Allen, mate, you stick at this and you'll be a world champion, right? So I'm going to call him a fibber, because I do believe he knew his potential. I just don't believe at that point in time it was the right time for him to try and reach out and grab it and follow and chase that potential. Everything happens to different people at different stages for reasons, and I feel like it's took Dave to go through bad times, to be in a position where he's a dad and he's content in his relationship with his missus, and now he's going, okay, this is not about me now, this is about something bigger than me. And it's took that scenario to unfold over years for him to go, right, okay, I get it now. this is not going to be nice, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's not about me, it's about somebody else.
Yeah, I like your thinking. I do think he's self-sabotaged himself a little bit with not putting the time in. But do you know what? Honestly, when I seen that fight, I was like, you know what? You really...
I'm just glad it's come for him.
Yeah.
While he's still young enough
yes.
to take advantage of it, rather than him getting to my age and then going, I wish I'd have applied myself, but now it's too late. He's got all the experience, probably, in boxing terms, not far off the amount of experience I've got, yet he's still young enough to put it into practice himself rather than passing it on to somebody else. So it's a perfect situation to be in.
Yeah, 100%. Do you think that Team Fisher underestimated, you know, when you have a workhorse, somebody that's really experienced, nullifying work, do you think the other team kind of maybe took it a bit lightly, or, you know, took the fight too early? Or
Listen, maybe they underestimated Dave. I think a lot of people did underestimate Dave, but maybe he's never been in a position to capitalise on it. Whereas last time he was fit, he wasn't as fit as he could be, and this time he's a lot fitter than he was the first time. So, you know, flip it the other way. If Dave gets Johnny in the position where he had him last time, is Johnny going to be able to survive like he did last time? Because Dave didn't really have the gears to go through. So there's so many different scenarios what could unfold, and I'm just proud of Dave for being as committed as he has been to this training camp and putting himself in a position that if he is in that position in the fight, he gets to capitalise on it better than he did the first time.
You know what it's like in terms of the mental side of the game, okay? So Fisher's
the most important bit.
The most important thing. So Fisher would have gone away. It looked to me at the end of the fight that he wasn't sure. He kind of thought maybe it wasn't his night. How would that sort of play on him mentally and also going into this fight, do you think?
Well, two things to that. Johnny Fisher is obviously mentally very strong. If he wasn't, he wouldn't have got through that first fight.
True.
So, add to that now, him being given the time to sit, analyse, see where he went wrong, try and fix a few things, you know, he's going to be better. He's going to be in a better position now to weather those storms better. The difference is Dave's in a better position to take advantage of it. So that's why I was saying on the stage, even though both guys are going to be better, potentially this is going to be a better fight, because it means that Dave's going to be able to go harder, Johnny's going to have to go harder to hold him off if and when we get him in them positions. So it's going to be a better fight.
I agree. And actually, talking about Fisher, do you know, I think sometimes a loss can be the making of somebody. Obviously, nobody wants to lose, but, you know, that's when you find out whether you really, truly got hard. I mean, you can train hard, all of that sort of stuff, but that's when you first find out, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, well, listen, the first time your back's against the wall as a pro and you're in a really hard fight, you realise whether you're going to swim or you're going to sink. And it's an awful position to be in. And you have all these arguments in your own head where you're like, fuck this is too hard. And then the other side of you is going, don't you dare fucking quit. Yeah, exactly. When you win the argument, you'll never lose the argument. So I know he's not going to lose it. The difference is in heavyweight boxing, and if Dave gets in that position again, he should have the gears to be able to go through it now. And that doesn't mean that Johnny's going to make a decision about it. It's heavyweight boxing. If you get hit with the right type of shot, you can't decide whether to go on. It's over. So we're hoping, from our point of view, Dave gets him in that position again so he can capitalise on it.
Both guys, I think, that last fight, I think, was a gift. I think it was a gift for both. There's a realisation for both fighters. Fisher, okay, putting people over, and now he has to kind of put his hand in and really dig out. Do you know what I mean? See what he's made of. And Alan has that realisation. I think it's going to be an absolutely cracking fight on Saturday night. I wish you, the team, all the best.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
How's Dribble, by the way?
Oh, he's all right. He's off to some charity event tonight. He's acting on Billy Big. So,
is it?
Yeah. I'm going to blank him now.
Mate, you do all the hard work.
Exactly. Get on there talking nonsense.
Yeah, nice one.
I know.